Greetings and salutations, Charlton 66 here, again with another video. I hope all is doing well. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, but I've been kind of busy, with work and some other things going on. And nothing too traumatic, but it just hadn't had a chance. I did do a live video with Night Tiger Comics, him and Lawrence. When he's got a new channel, it used to be with the Go-To Geeks. Now he's got the King of Comicdom is his new channel. So check it out if you guys did not know. The Go-To Geeks is on a hiatus right now, but Lawrence is still he's posting new material, and he just did an awesome video about the history of Go Geek Comics. So check out his stuff. Again, it's called the King of Comicdom on here on YouTube. But I just got back from Baltimore, which was a great show, like it is always. You hear me talk about it. This will be probably a two-part video because I'll talk about it a little bit. Obviously, we'll take up some time, and I'll show some of the highlight of some of my pickups. But it was a great show, like it always is. It was his 20th year. It's for the comic book collector. I'll put it to you that way. I've talked about it before. I mentioned it before. You can go to the website and see all the creators they have there, and the guests and everything else. It's really a show for us, for the collector. So I didn't shoot any footage there. I have a crappy camera, and what I did try and shoot, it just didn't come out right. I don't know. I guess I don't know what people will find fascinating or interesting enough to post here of me digging through comic books or making deals or whatever. I don't know if that would be fascinating enough to people or not. I'm not really there for signatures unless it's someone that I don't see that often and that's not around, doesn't do a lot of shows in this area. But I'm not really a signature guy. I mean, I do. Like I said, I do get signatures on books, but it's for people that I hold near and dear, and there's not that many. But artwork is a different story. I try and get commissions done. My first day, Friday, I try and get my commissions taken care of. But onto that here in a second. One of the things that this is the program book. Steve Conley's Middle Earth is featured on the cover and for the T-shirt, which is the VIP was cool this year. The VIP for 3 days, it was pricey. It's $165, but that includes early admission for all 3 days, all 3 days admission, obviously. The T-shirt, which you get a pick, and the yearbook. Nice hardback yearbook. Featuring, this is a character called Black Sad. I never heard of the character before. It's by a Spanish duo who created this character. But in the book, it just has these different artists with their interpretation of that character and what's the character about. But again, this is part of the VIP package, and it gave you a $40 voucher for $40 to spend at the exclusive booth, which I thought was a very cool idea. So you get a good deal for what it's worth. It's $35 a day to get in, except for Sunday, except for I think Saturday, Friday. It's because it's not a full day. I think it's 25 or something like that. But I think it's a good deal. I've been doing VIP for the last 6 shows, I think. But they treat you right, I think, anyway. And with the $40 voucher, I bought one of their coffee mugs and this awesome Bloodshot #1. I don't follow. I'm a big Valiant guy, but I don't follow none of the newer Valiant stuff. It's just too much going on with recent books and everything else, and between the recent stuff that I do buy and Valiant stuff, with our characters that pale in comparison to what I enjoyed back during the era of Valiant. But anyway, Jim Calafiore, one of my favorite modern comic book artists, drew the awesome variant Baltimore Comic Con, and the Domino Sugar Neon sign in the back is a landmark of Baltimore. So he was kind of cool to include that on this awesome Bloodshot #1 Jim Calafiore Jim Calafiore cover. So that was one of the exclusives I bought, and a coffee mug, and some other things. But that's beginning of the show. And like I said, I was there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, I scope out the dealers, make some deals, talk to dealers, see what we got going on, see what books they have. I already had a line on a dealer from Warthog Comics, Damian Hill. Phenomenal guy to work with. He's a local dealer, but he had a bunch of Nokia Jungle Girls from Charlton. He held for me. He sent me a text message with some pictures, and I said I wanted them. He held them for me, so we made a deal with that. That happened on Friday. Got my commissions lined up. I got a commission from Jonathan K. Snyder once again. I'm having him do Moon Knight. He doesn't do the commissions there. He sends them to you once you make the deal and do whatever you need to do with them. Whatever financial plan that you have, because he'll take like 50% or 85% up, or you could pay in full. I paid in full to have the commission done. It's going to be 11/17 of Moon Knight, which I'm really looking forward to that. So that kind of took care of Friday. Got some deals, which I'll show some books here in a few minutes. One of the deals that I got on Friday, which I'll show the Nokias in a little while, it might be part 2 of the video. But one of the things that I found that he had for me was the original Charlton comic book guide for artists, writers, and letterers. This is not the reproduction that Neo Charlton or Charlton Neo, however they want to say their name. This is the actual guide that you can order out of the Charlton comic books back in the 70s. And I love the back. That's all of their titles. It's just the whole back is full of all the titles that they put out. I'm still taken aback by how much stuff they put out in any period of time. There's hundreds of titles here, and some of them are reprinted, but a lot of it's not. But they had a lot of titles. But again, this is the guide. Same thing as a reproduction. I'm glad I got the reproduction to peruse and reread. But they talk about what's a splash page, the tools of the trade, all that kind of stuff. But one of the signatures I did get, Joe Staten, who worked on this book, his artwork was in here, and I got his signature right by his name, and he was excited to see this. I won't say excited, but he was pretty taken aback by it. He was like, "Where did you find that?" And I explained to him, I'm a Charlton guy, and the dealer I knew that, and he held this aside. He has held this aside for me, and he was pretty happy to see it. And his wife Hillary was there, and she remembered that. Him working on that book and remembering that that comic book guide. So believe it or not, that was one of my really neat purchases from the show. I know, Shannon, if you're watching, I try to find another copy out there about the show, but either no one heard about it or no one has ever seen one before. I was going to try to find you a copy, because I know you want one as well. But I've got my eyes out. I got some dealers that I know that I mentioned the guide to, and they're going to keep their eye out in this area. And if I do come across one, I'll send one your way. But it's a pretty nice little find. One of the things I did pick up, really nice shape. This was on Friday. Conga #5, which I was pretty happy to get. An awesome Ditko cover. I posted some of these on Instagram, but just as a stack. I didn't do individual comics. Again, I'm on Instagram at Charlton6670 is my handle there on Instagram. And this beautiful cover for Conga #6, I just love it. It's a Ditko cover. It is just phenomenal with the spotlight in him. He's looking happy as hell. I don't know if he's going to really step on some people or what he's going to ready to do. But Conga's not really a brute per se. You know, he's more like if you ever seen the movie Mighty Joe Young, he's more in that vein. His temperament, and the way that he acts. It's Conga. Such a great cover. The yellow spotlight hitting him and everything looks really nice. Another thing I picked up, which was not that many of them, I think it was Law and Order or Crime and Justice. One of the two before it was Rookie Cop. This is Rookie Cop number 27. I think there's only 2 or 3 issues of Rookie Cop. Haven't researched it yet, but this was a book that's hard to find sometime. Rookie Cop number 27. And one of the I don't know what the trend is. I was seeing a lot more Charlton on people's walls, which I was happy to see. Bad news for me, but good news for people who are discovering Charlton, but trying to find them at a relatively good price. I mean, I seen non-graded Charltons, early Space Wars and Space Adventures with Captain Atom going for hundreds of dollars. I'm glad people are recognizing the company. I've seen a lot more on the wall than I did see the previous year, so that was kind of cool. And one of the ones I did see is this Space War. I don't recall the number 4 from 1960. Awesome Ditko cover, has Ditko work on the inside. The only issue that I have, again, they're hard to find, so I'm taking them when I can find them, is right here on the side. That's the only thing. But other than that, it's a stellar copy. Great eye appeal. Again, great stuff. Space War number 5. Did I say number 5? I think so. And this is Outer Space. I should have wrote these numbers down. I meant to do that before I did the video. Volume 3, number 23 from 1959. Nice Outer Space issue. Nothing really outstanding in this. I mean, the stories are half. I've read this one already. Read it last night. There's no Ditko in this particular issue, but good sci-fi nonetheless. This is good to have it. Good addition to my into my collection. In Outer Space, the great Ditko cover on this one. It's a great, nice copy. This is Outer Space Volume 3, number 21 from March of '59. But it's such a great cover. Those guys on a tether and we're outside the spaceship. Steve Ditko goodness. Oh, speaking of Steve Ditko, awesome Space Adventures cover here. This was a t-shirt company that they have that they're selling at the show. They're only $20 a shirt, or 2 for $30. Well, I thought was pretty good. But again, they discovered some of the Charlton and Ditko stuff as a public domain, so they're saying they're going to have a lot more Ditko and Charlton shirts, which I think is going to be very cool. All right, those right there are some of the stuff I picked up on Friday. And one of the things I did pick up, which is the highlight of the show for me anyway, Yellow Jacket number 8 from 1946. It's going to be coming out of the slab, but I haven't had a chance to crack it out yet. But early Charlton book, Yellow Jacket story, and some other stuff in here. 6.5 cream to off-white pages. I'm kind of glad it was slab because I spent a little bit of money on this. And if I'm going to spend over $200 on a book, I would like to know that there's nothing missing out of it, particularly with Charlton's, because they're known to have brittle pages and stuff just not right with them. Staples missing, one staple, all that kind of good stuff. So it's going to be coming out of the slab, though, but I haven't had a chance to take it out yet. I just got back last night from the show. That was a highlight of one of my highlights of my purchases. One of the few, well, I should say one of the few, one of the non-Charlton books that I did buy, spent some pretty good money on, was Amazing Fantasy number 9. one of my favorite Marvel monsters, Tim Boomba. Read the reprint numerous times. Love the story, love the artwork. Steve Ditko. But it's Amazing Fantasy was at a price that I thought was fair. Great eye appeal on this book. It's pretty nice. Um, so I pulled the trigger on this and picked that up. I met Mark Wheatley there. He's one of my favorite illustrators, and he did this awesome book called "Songs of Giants: The Poetry of Pulp." Jack McDevitt, who you don't know who he is, a sci-fi writer, did the introduction to this. But they're poems set to a pulp vein of pulp stories, pulp characters, pulp creators, all that kind of good stuff, and it's richly illustrated. Um, it's signed and numbered. Of only 1,000. I had dedicated to me, signed over to me. But it's just really illustrated really, really well. Like this is really, really nice. And their poems, and they're just really illustrated really nice. Does a really good job doing this book. So I picked that up from him. So that was mostly on Friday. The video's at 16 minutes now. I'll show some more comics at part 2. I'll show you the Nokias and some other stuff I picked up. But again, Saturday was nothing but dealer day. Going on picking up books from dealers, getting my commissions. I also got a commission from Jim Calafiore of Modoc. He's sending that to me in the mail. By the time I left Sunday, he was working on it still when I left. So I just, there's an arrangement, and he's going to mail it to me. And of course, I'll do a video when that comes in. But Saturday, like I said, was dealer day, and Sunday just to pick up the pieces for stuff that I either that I forgot about, didn't pick up. Dealers I want to go back to see if the prices are a little bit different or whatever. People who've been to a con know how know what the routine is. So I'll keep it short, or not really short. It's at 17 minutes, but I'll keep it here, and then I'll continue it. Do a part 2 on some of the other books that I picked up and some other stuff at the con. I'll talk to you guys later.